Loktargar friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And today was max effort bench press day. I'm still getting used to being fully flat-footed, using a slightly wider grip. Over time, it's going to work better. But my lower pec weakness is really coming out on this max stuff. And what I mean by that is that I felt my chest light up tremendously. Now, some people will point out, well, those dips are probably giving you fatigue. Yeah, because I did 100 dips on Saturday, and then I did 40 on camera for you guys yesterday with the GPP stuff. So that's a factor, but I need that extra volume for my work capacity and everything else. And the dips over time are going to thicken up my lower chest, which we need to get my bench up. So, but I can tell as I'm doing these that my chest is definitely the weak link. I can feel it. I feel like I just need more power off the chest, so I need the extra hypertrophy from all the dips. I need to keep working the speed work, and the speed work with this technique will help me get better and better at getting that speed, but I just need more power, and it's going to happen. I just have to keep working it. And I noticed even with the chain, because I'm running 77 pounds of chains here, even with the chain work, I didn't feel my triceps at all until I got to the last one here. Actually, this is the next to last one. So I ended up only doing 295 plus 75 pounds of chains. So that's not a tremendous amount of weight at the bottom. I mean, we all know based upon my bench last week, my raw bench, obviously that bottom is less than I bench. The lockout is more. But it still could have been faster off the bottom. Like even watch there with the 285, right? I could use a little more speed out of the bottom. So we know that's the weak link. And even though we see the heaviest one, and sure, the lockout was very slow. Like you guys can see me struggling to lock out, but I didn't even feel my triceps until I had a slow lockout. I felt nothing in my triceps on any of this. And the speed off the chest, because it's only, even with the chains at the bottom, it's only about 300 pounds off my chest. So watch the bar speed, and this tells us a lot about where my weaknesses are, right? See the speed out of the bottom? That was a little slow. It could have been faster. Then it got hard there at the lockout, but that's after all that chains are adding up. Like my lockout was really good, not slow at all on my max bench last week for the raw bench. So we know the tricep stuff's coming along. So what we need to focus on is tricep exercises that continue to build tricep power out of the bottom. Okay, so that's going to be my focus. I'm going to do a lot of tricep work. I need bigger arms. But we need all those dips. For my pecs, my triceps, everything else. And I feel like right now too, this football bar, I'm doing a lot of volume on it now. I went ahead and went up to 5 sets of 10, but it was tough to get all of them because I finally got up to this weight. I did 3 sets of 10 with it last Thursday. I pushed it on up to 5 sets today. And man, did it light my upper chest, my front delts, everything up. I like this exercise for that. And we need those areas because again, if we want power out of the bottom on the bench, we do need to make sure our delts and our chest are really strong. Now, I'm not feeling anything in my delts at all with that new angle on the bench. It seems like it's all chest out of the bottom, but we need to keep those areas moving along. This pretty well finished off my whole upper chest and shoulder region, like all my delts, front delts, side delts, everything were lit up. My triceps were a little fatigued, but they didn't feel that much, right? They didn't feel that much from both the chain bench or all of this pressing, and that's fine because of the angle of this particular press. It's going to be maybe not as tricep dominant because it's really hard to lock out. I had someone say, "Oh, why aren't you locking?" It's like, you try locking the football bar, especially for me with that old scar tissue in that left bicep. Sometimes it can be an issue as it is. Locking this thing is difficult, even with a lightweight, even with an empty bar. So really, it's for me just using it to get that power out of the bottom. It almost works like a mild incline combined with an overhead press. It's an awkward lift. It's hard to push through, but it feels good, and it's really easy on the shoulder joints. It's really easy on the elbows. So I think as a supplemental exercise, you could do it for heavy work, absolutely. But I feel like just for volume, this is really nice for just hitting a lot of training volume in those areas to make sure that they're growing. And that's going to be the direction the training is really going moving forward. Everything at this point is either maxes, heavy singles, dynamic effort work for speed work, and we have a ton of speed work. And we hit maxes every week. And then everything else is going to be volume for hypertrophy. And the easiest way to get tons of volume is to do a bunch of sets of 10s with fairly close to limit sets, and then conditioning, so GPP outside of that. And obviously things like plyometrics fall under my speed work. So we're going to do weighted box jumps, continue to do those every single week for pretty high volume, pretty high sets, not real volume. And we're going to progress on those too. So the main thing is that maximizing body composition. That's why my diet's on point. That's why the conditioning is going. And I am definitely continuing to recomp. People noticed that in the metabolic conditioning video yesterday. And we're going to see at least a couple of those every week. I might even do up to 3 of those a week. Keep blogging the training. But body composition, I've got to bring up all my weak links. Everything's got a hypertrophy. I'm going to have to keep losing body fat because, again, strength to weight ratios, being in shape, and finding the weak links in all those max lifts. And that's the name of the game, guys. We take the max lifts to determine what we need to do. And we can see based on all my max benching, I'm weaker out of the bottom, so I need chest, 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 front delt. Same thing, my tricep movements, I need my triceps to grow. But where do I need them to be the most effective? I'm locking hard. And with all the chain and band work I'm doing, my triceps are going to continue to get trained through all of that. So when I do tricep specific movements, I need to build power out of the bottom. I need my triceps to explode out of the bottom. So they help my chest and my front delts get those weights moving on any press. It doesn't have to be just my flat bench. It can be all my presses. I need them to be explosive at the bottom. JM floor press. Because I'm forced to explode as a multi-joint exercise, a tricep dominant multi-joint exercise. I have to explode from the bottom. And I took these all the way out because these were light. If you guys notice, I increased the weight on these today. My tricep strength is improving. Tricep strength is improving. We're going to keep improving it because if my triceps get stronger, my chest will be able to handle more work because it's going to be forced to handle heavier weight because my triceps help it move more. So the tension will keep going up. So for the triceps, they're improving. I put the microplates on there today. So this is not 135. It's 137.5. But it was fairly easy today. So even with the micro load. So when I got to the final set, I decided to pause every rep and see how many reps I can get. I got 13. Okay, we need to increase the weight on this again. I need to increase the weight. So come Thursday on the speed work, I'm going to bump that weight up and keep working on getting my triceps more powerful out of the bottom. But at this point, to make sure that my chest is growing, ultra high volume dips every week. I'm probably going to end up doing before long 400 or 500 dips every single week as part of my conditioning, but there's going to be a hypertrophic effect on my lower chest for that because that lower chest is really limiting my bench right now. I need it to keep growing. I need to keep growing. So that's going to help. Obviously, all the tons and tons of chin-ups. You need to do 500 chin-ups every week also. You know, when you weigh 220, that'll do it. Keep my back development's coming along fine anyway, so it'll keep helping what I needed to do on the bench. But that's going to help, and then the speed work, doing all that speed work, because I've got to get my chest to fire hard out of the bottom, and we need it to be able to follow through. So we've got to get everything more explosive out of the bottom, and then I just need to keep my triceps to keep growing and keep getting stronger so that they can follow through. But all the band work and the chain work, even the maxes will help with that. But even today, I think it was very apparent, just like on my max bench last week, the raw bench with the chains, we're seeing the same trend, right? I have to have a lot of chain on there before my lockout even slows, right? It took 360, 370 on the bar for the lockout to slow. It was slow off the chest. Okay, means I need lower pec, front delt, all that stuff. So we keep working it, keep moving forward. But this last set, and I was happy with that. By the way, you guys notice I had to pause the final set on the football bar because I haven't tried 5 sets before. It's a lot of volume. These though, these pauses, even with the pause work, I got 13. So I've got to keep increasing the weight, and that's good. Keep that tension moving forward. Because this is exactly what I need. I need my triceps to be more powerful out of the bottom to help my chest. And the chest just has to get bigger and stronger. Basically, I just have to keep building my lower pecs. Doesn't matter how big they are, they're not big enough. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. Hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.